On July 31st, 2024, Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated in Tehran, Iran, with Israel being suspected of orchestrating the attack. In retaliation, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, ordered a direct assault on Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu immediately warned that Israel would respond harshly to any act of aggression. The already tense relations between Iran and Israel escalated, pushing the Middle East to the brink of a full-scale war. If the war breaks out, Iran would coordinate with its allies in Syria, Yemen, and Lebanon, launching hundreds of missiles and drones at Israel. However, the majority of these would be intercepted by Israel's advanced air defense systems and U.S. forces, with only a few breaking through. The attack would last 4 to 5 hours, causing minimal damage to Israel's military targets. After this, Iran might pause, considering it had avenged the death of Ismail Haniyeh, even though the damage to Israel would be insignificant. Since its founding, the Jewish people have been known for never forgetting their enemies and always retaliating in the most brutal and extreme ways. Therefore, after being attacked by Iran, Tel Aviv will not remain idle. They view the airstrike not as a warning, but as a direct challenge. Iran's failure to intimidate Israel will likely lead to a powerful counterattack from Tel Aviv, potentially escalating into a full-scale war in the Middle East. 6 hours after the attack, an emergency meeting is convened in Tel Aviv, where Israeli leaders decide to retaliate against Iran immediately. Although U.S. President Joe Biden has declared that the United States will not participate in the attack, Israel proceeds with its plans. First, they would target Iran's air defense systems, especially the S-300 systems protecting the Natanz nuclear facility. Israel might use small UAVs to divert attention before launching missiles from Syrian airspace. If Israel does not continue with stronger attacks, they could unintentionally give Iran an opportunity to carry out other pre-planned strikes. Tehran might suspect that Israel's restrained retaliation is merely the beginning of a larger military campaign. If so, Iran would quickly counterattack by launching a wave of UAVs, ballistic missiles, and cruise missiles on a much larger scale than the initial strike. Simultaneously, they might direct Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis to attack Israel's borders from Syria or Lebanon. Hezbollah, with its modern arsenal, would join the conflict with its full strength, including anti-tank systems, air defenses, and armored vehicles. The most notable aspect of Hezbollah's arsenal is the massive quantity of missiles and drones they claim can strike any location within Israel's territory. According to some experts, the organization possesses between 120,000 to 200,000 short-range ballistic missiles, unguided short and medium-range ballistic missiles, and a vast array of long-range rockets. The United States estimates that Hezbollah receives hundreds of millions of dollars annually from Iran for weapons and financial support. Regarding their forces, in 2021, Hezbollah leader Sayed Hassan Nasrallah claimed that his organization had 100,000 fighters, though this figure may be exaggerated. The CIA estimated in 2022 that Hezbollah actually had around 45,000 combatants, with 20,000 of them being full-time operatives. Although this force is only a fraction of the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, Hezbollah fighters are considered highly experienced. They have fought in Syria to support President Bashar al-Assad's regime and regularly engage with Israel along the Lebanese border. In the event of a full-scale conflict with Israel, Hezbollah might be directed by Tehran to escalate military activities in the north, focusing on the Galilee Panhandle region. Their objective could be to force the IDF to permanently withdraw from this area. When it comes to urban warfare in towns like Metula and the city of Kiryat Shmona, Israel's advanced air defense systems would face significant challenges. While Israel is highly capable of intercepting high-flying missiles, in areas like the Galilee Panhandle, Hezbollah often uses RPGs and low-flying anti-tank missiles that are aimed with greater precision. If Hezbollah were to capture the Galilee Panhandle, they and other Iranian proxy forces would have a direct route to advance into northern Israel from Lebanon, posing a severe threat to the security of the Jewish state. However, Hezbollah's ability to achieve significant progress in the conflict remains unlikely due to the organization's current limitations. At the same time, Naval battles are less likely to occur because the naval capabilities of both Iran and Israel are limited, both in quantity and quality. This leads to the primary battlefield of a full scale war between the two nations being in the skies, where both will deploy their best missiles, fighter jets, and drones. As the war enters its second day, Israel will prepare to deploy its most powerful long range offensive weapons, including F 35 Lightning II stealth fighters and highly accurate intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs. While Israel has an advantage in modern fighter jet technology and several nuclear armed submarines, Iran possesses the largest and most diverse ballistic missile arsenal in the Middle East. Although Israel's missiles are more powerful and advanced, their quantity and variety cannot compare to Iran's. While Hezbollah attempts to breach Israel's northern defenses, Iran will continue to launch multiple waves of missile and drone attacks on Israel's key military targets. Intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, armed with nuclear warheads, may be launched from both sides, flying over Jordanian and Iraqi airspace to reach the opponent's capital. The conflict, which has long been limited to secret assassinations, cyber attacks, nuclear sabotage, and isolated strikes, will officially escalate into a multifaceted war involving at least two nations believed to possess nuclear weapons. Although Iran has repeatedly claimed that it is not pursuing nuclear weapons, a small possibility remains that after the first ICBM salvo is launched, Israel might escalate by using nuclear weapons. If Israel were to launch a 150 kiloton nuclear armed cruise missile into the center of Tehran, the explosion could kill nearly 500,000 people and obliterate everything within a 1.35 kilometers radius from the impact point. Although peace may be achievable, it would be a very fragile peace, requiring continuous diplomatic efforts to maintain and build trust. In summary, a full-scale war between Israel and Iran, even if brief, would have devastating consequences for both nations and the entire Middle East region. This conflict could draw in various forces, from governments to non-governmental organizations, increasing instability and causing severe economic and humanitarian damage. While the likelihood of military confrontation is rising, nations must focus on diplomatic efforts to prevent conflict and address underlying issues to avoid a catastrophic scenario. So, do you think the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh could be the spark that ignites the war between Iran and Israel? Would that war unfold as predicted? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to stay tuned to discover the secrets we've prepared for you.